Hey guys, so, hello, I am Fiona, I am a bisexual woman, if you didn't know. What a quick way to come out. Should I just start doing that in conversations? So, I recently came across a video by a TV show called Loose Women, and before I go any further, this video is 4.5 years old, and so I don't want anyone to ever attack the people who are in the video, especially because the views expressed in the video could have definitely changed since it was shot. It is 4.5 years old. People changed so much in that time. It's also worth noting that these women are a little bit older, they're of a different generation, and so a lot of these types of views can fade out generation to generation, and they haven't lived in the generation where being bi is a lot more chill and more accepted as it is today within millennials, Gen Z, etc. And as you know, I don't usually do like reaction style videos. That's really not what my channel's about. But when I watched this video, which to be fair was months ago, so I'm gonna have very fresh takes now because I don't actually remember what was said. But when I first watched the video, I was quite shocked by a lot of what they said. But at the same time, I wasn't entirely surprised because a lot of them are rooted in different stereotypes and common misconceptions about bisexual people. And so I wanted to watch this video with you guys. Oh, hello, son. Oh, how fun. So I wanted to watch this video with you guys and break down for you why each point is hashtag problematic and also why it's misinformed, because I know that there are still people out there with those beliefs, even if it's not these one in particular. Again, I don't know them. They might still believe this. They might not. But it's not the first time that I've heard these thoughts. So I thought we could break it down together and talk about why people believe these things. I'm just rambling now. Let's just get on with the video. Got a little headphone in so I can watch it without my audio being ruined. Oops. I watch everything on double speed, so I think I'm gonna watch it on normal speed for this.
Could you have a relationship, be married to a bisexual man?
Well, I don't know because I've never had a relationship with a bisexual man. But all
how do you know?
How do I know? Exactly, how do I know?
I love how like ominous it is. It's like they could be hiding amongst you.
But all I know is that so long as they were like loyal to me, I don't think it'd matter. He could have a little look where everyone would have a look, men or women, have a little look, but just stay away from them.
But would you... But would you need to know that before... Would you go into a relationship somebody telling you they're bisexual? I mean, if he told you now, I mean, you've been married a long time and you love him, and
then
maybe you'd be more
understanding. The same thing. So long as you're loyal to me, then it doesn't matter. Whatever's happened in the past has happened in the past, but so long as you're loyal to me now, that's fine.
Slight issue with when she said what happened in the past, because bisexuality is part of your identity. I'm engaged to a girl, I've been with her for 4.5 years, I'm not a lesbian, so it's not a thing that's happened in the past, but also I see where she's coming from. Very chill vibe, I approve so far.
I think it would change me.
I don't know, I think it wouldn't bother me in terms of the emotion and that side of a relationship, but sexually I'd be thinking, are you now thinking about the 23%? You know what I mean? I would struggle with it, I have to say.
But you sort of feel like that about exes anyway, don't you? You know, like...
Not the same, I wouldn't. It would change, I think it would... Oh, gosh, it's a hard one. I would like to think... I would like to think that I would be very sympathetic to anything because Eamon's my husband and I love him. I'd like to think
There's a but coming.
Yeah. And so I think, and particularly all the conversations we have here, I'd like to think I would go, right, well, let's talk about this. But I know I'm a jealous kind of woman anyway. If I had to worry about something else, about all the men out there as well as the women, I'd drive myself insane. But I think, I mean, I'm joking there, but I think it ultimately would change the person I thought he was, I think, if I'm absolutely honest.
Okay, here we go. People feeling that bisexual people will cheat on them is quite common, not because bisexual people cheat. Their theory is that if you have one gender to be attracted to, you're already up against half the population. We're going to pretend non-binary people don't exist because I just really suck at maths. So if they have to be concerned about 100% of the population, it's like a next level. But really, the issue with cheating and jealousy isn't being bisexual or how many people you're attracted to or have the capabilities of being attracted to. It's just, will that person cheat or not? A lot of straight people cheat. I mean, the whole Ashley Madison thing is pretty much proof that there can be a massive blown scandal of heteros cheating. And so I think it's good to unpack why you think bisexual people will do it, and if it's actually you being like, oh god, they have double the amount of people to be attracted to, again, scientifically not correct, non-binary people are real, or if you're just concerned about cheating and jealousy in the relationship in general, and if that's something you should unpack within your relationship. And then saying she could never look at him the same, I mean, like, That shit is something that a lot of bi people are scared of. A lot of queer people do stress about coming out to their partner because they think that they won't see them the same way, when really they're the same person that they've been with the whole time that you were together. So that is upsetting that she thinks that way. Again, 4.5-year-old video, older generation, but it just sucks.
I think I didn't know that you liked men, so now you're telling me you like men. It does change what I think about you as a person. It's not saying I would immediately leave him. Do you think? I would like to think not to start with, but I think it would affect me. He can't be chasing anyone at the moment because he's on 2 crutches, so I'm all right. I'd like to think it wouldn't.
Yeah.
But it's like that question when you say, you know, could you forgive an affair? And I always say, I'd like to think I could, but I think knowing the person I am, deep down, I probably couldn't. I think it would eat away.
This is again with equating being bisexual to having an affair. Like, it's not the same thing. It's honestly, and maybe this is just because I'm so chill and comfortable in my bisexuality, which wasn't always the case, took me a while to realize it. Like, it's the same as just being left-handed to me. I mean, obviously I'm going to be chill with anyone coming out as anything because I don't give a damn, but like, you know, if you're dating someone and they say, oh, by the way, I'm actually left-handed, you're not going to be like, I don't know if I can deal with this. It's just a part of who they are. They're not going to cheat as a byproduct of being bisexual. And it definitely isn't the same as having an affair, because that's breaking trust. That is breaking a commitment that you two have made. And I can understand perhaps feeling lied to in that situation, like they were hiding it from you, but also it's important to consider a queer person's journey in coming out and understanding who they are and then getting to telling people in their own time. A lot of the time when people come out, some people might feel offended that they weren't told sooner or that they weren't told at all. But at the end of the day, it's their thing to tell people. I don't know. Yeah. And
like Jane said, I would be having those thoughts, like, you know, who's he thinking about? Because there's something to fantasise about a woman.
I think that if you know before you marry somebody, then you go into it with your eyes open, so to speak. But I think if you're presented with that afterwards, I think it's years and years ago, a friend of mine, her husband, they had a child together, and then he left her for another man. And she said it's worse than him leaving me for another woman, because she said, I feel that our whole marriage has been a sham, that every time he was in bed with me, he was thinking I'd rather be in bed with a man.
Damn, okay. So... I can somewhat relate to this. As a little backstory, I didn't understand that I was bi until I was about 20, 21. That was when I started to like kind of identify with that label. But in high school, I was dumb. And my boyfriend, my like high school on and off boyfriend, that classic high school sweetheart, he was bisexual and he openly identified as bisexual. Again, me not figuring out for a long time. I'm just a dumb bitch, what can I say? But every time that we broke up, if he hooked up with a guy, I was like, oh, he's gay now. That's what that is. He's gay now. And then we get back together. I'm like, oh, he's straight now. And that isn't the case. And I know now, because I understand bisexuality and I'm not a dumb 16-year-old, which again, generational thing. Gen Z now, like 16-year-olds now, they're not as dumb as I was when I was 16, because people learn more, they have access to more information. So that's why I'm not holding it against these women, because they don't have as much access to that kind of information. But yeah, if you have dated a bisexual person, or if you've dated someone who then went on to date someone of the same gender, or another gender if you're the same gender, it doesn't mean that what you guys had wasn't real. It doesn't discredit everything that you had. Yeah, there's like nothing else I can say to that. I don't really have like evidence or proof, but it just isn't the case. I have ex-boyfriends, and what I've had with them was incredible and real and amazing for what it was. I mean, I'm older now, I'm grown, I know that those were not the relationships for me, and now I'm dating a girl. But those relationships aren't for me, not because I'm dating a girl now, just because we are very different people and it never would have worked. But I see where that grief is coming from, because that would be painful to go through, having someone leave you full stop, especially for something as foreign as dating someone as the same gender, which is more foreign for this generation, especially without the queer communities that obviously I roll in. I roll in? God, who am I?
That's where I would struggle, I think. I would always have that question mark, like, is this me he loves? Is this me he's with? Or is he thinking about being with a man?
I mean, it would be, if Mark said to me that he'd found men attractive, I know that he still finds women attractive. So for me, I think it's a bit like Linda. It's about fidelity.
Yeah.
And I think, I mean, I like to think that we fall in love with people. We don't necessarily fall in love. Do you know what? I can't believe more people aren't bisexual. Because if you think about it, I mean, like with your really good friends, it feels a lot like love.
Yeah.
Doesn't it? When you get excited about meeting up, excited about sharing good news, you want to tell all those other things that come with love. And I think sometimes it's almost like a button, it's just like 1 more millimetre. I mean, I fall in love with my female friends, but I want sex with Mark.
Yeah.
But what about if it was just like one other little twitch of the dial and you could want to do both?
But then you kind of go, well, how would Mark feel about that? He knows you love your girlfriends, and so you go, well, he's comfortable with that. I mean, I share a bed with my girlfriends if we're all together on holiday or they come and stay or something, and Eamon's always gone, where are they sleeping? I go, oh, with me.
Oh,
he's always gone, oh, really?
But I think we can all... I can look at another woman and think, isn't that woman attractive? But that switch of the dial that you're talking about is where I wouldn't do that switch of the dial to become sexual with that person, because I don't...
Because it's only a little twitch of the dial.
I remember years and years ago, I interviewed George Michael, who's obviously very openly gay, but he said to me, I find women really attractive as well, and he said, I could easily sleep with men and women.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. He said, but emotionally, I'm a gay man.
Yeah.
Which it took me a long time to work that out. I was thinking... But what he meant was, and also particularly, that he said that when he'd been in relationships with women, they found his bisexuality very hard to deal with. Whereas men don't.
I think it's really easy for us to talk about it, but actually in the reality...
It's an interesting subject.
I mean, this is insane. I actually don't know if George Michael identifies as gay or bi. It's important to mention that being bisexual doesn't mean that you have to be equal amounts romantically and sexually attracted to men and women, especially because, again, non-binary people exist. And the reason that I imagine George Michael found it easier to date men than he did women is because of attitudes like this. Like, if you are not surrounded by queer communities or queer people or just educated on what queerness is and the LGBTQ plus community, then it's harder to be accepting of those types of people. And that is one part of why I like making videos and being out online, because I get to, like, show the world what a bi gal is. And it's why I love the wide range of the LGBTQ plus community on the internet, because everyone has access to someone who looks like them. Like, I'm not going to be the exact representation for everyone, but if there's just like some sarcastic white girl with blue hair with a career in marketing, if that's you, like, hey, it's also me. But yeah, I think queer men are more accepting of bi guys than straight women are, because they understand that sexuality doesn't have to be an indicator of cheating, and they've already surrounded themselves with queerness. So that doesn't really surprise me that much. But it's also so weird to me that they're saying, oh yeah, he found it easier to date men than women, while also thinking these attitudes and not really dissecting their own thoughts.
Isn't it? It's not one of those, yes, I definitely would or not. No. You know, it's one of those, gosh, I never really thought about it, and you have to think quite deep. For more Loose Women action, click here.
Okay, that was the end of the video. There wasn't much more to say. One moment. Can we pump this up a little? Well, yeah, that is the video. I don't really have that much more to say. As I said, I honestly don't have any, like, resentment or negative feelings towards these women, because while I wish it weren't the case, I know that this is also largely a generational thing, and it's a lack of education, which again is why I like to make these videos and kind of break it down. There are so many misconceptions, like they're going to cheat on you or they've been hiding this secret from you. And if you are dating someone who comes out to you and you don't know what to say, I think the best thing you can do, if you are so confused and you don't want to say something negative, which I kind of addressed a little bit in my previous Am I the Asshole videos, where some people have not really said the right thing when coming out, just tell them, thank you for telling me. I appreciate that you told me that. I just need a moment to process. Because they will give you that. If you're coming out to someone, a lot of the time, for an LGBTQ plus person, it's like this big build up and it's this moment that they've planned, especially in the early days. Now I'm kind of just like, I'm bi, what of it? But earlier on, especially in different workplaces and all of that, I would just be like, I don't know how to say this. I don't want it to be a thing, but like it is a thing. And if I'm saying that I'm going on dates with someone, I don't really want people assuming that it's a guy, even though sometimes it is. So yeah, a lot of the time people have put a lot of thought into how they're going to come out to you. So just take a moment, process it. And if you don't know what to say, or if you're confused about bisexuality, welcome to the internet. There are so many resources. My channel is one of them, obviously, but there is so much out there that you can learn. So best of luck, best of luck, best of luck. Thank you for watching this video. Again, no hate towards these women. It's a different generation. It's a 4.5-year-old video. I don't even know their names. So No hate whatsoever. And I hope that if you had similar views, you are somewhat educated now and you can walk away knowing a little bit more and understanding why previously held views are maybe not so right. Thank you so much for watching this video. My Patreon is linked down below if you want to help me out, and I will see you very soon with another video. Bye!